Call the Crosby Township Board of Trustees regular meeting to order for July 10th, 2023. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Lohman?
Here.
Mr. Hyam?
Here.
Mr. Heiss?
Here.
Approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held June 12th, 2023.
I didn't see anything wrong. Did you, Chuck?
Brian said we had, under co-owners, Mr. Heiss, could he tell you about what we'll look at golf outing is August 11, 23. You got a line after the 3. You see it?
Oh.
No, it's just a typo.
It's typo.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I thought Brian told you about it.
yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
He placed that here for me, and it's been corrected.
So,
All right, I move that we accept the minutes for June the 12th.
I second it.
Roll call.
Lohman?
Yes.
Hyam?
Yes.
Heiss?
Yes.
Approval of the minutes for the special meeting held June 12th, 2023.
There was and before you called the meeting to order, the time of the meeting at the top of the minutes was incorrect. It was 6 o'clock and not 7 o'clock, and I'll make that adjustment.
I approve the minutes with the correction, special meeting on June the 12th.
Second.
Roll call.
Lohman?
Yes.
Hyam?
Yes.
Heiss?
Yes.
Approval to pay the bills as has been presented over the past month.
So moved.
I second it.
Roll call.
Lohman?
Yes.
Hyam?
Yes.
Heiss?
Yes.
Correspondence, me. Great Parks is having a fall tour October 18th. I guess they do it every year from 8 to 2:45 at 10245 Winton Road. The Fernald Preserve 2022 environmental report is out. There's a Hamilton County Business Retention and Expansion meeting, July 25th from 11:30 to 1.
What was that again?
Hamilton County Business Retention and Expansion meeting, July 25th, 11:30 to 1. It's on Central Parkway. There's a Hamilton County Board of Health meeting today at 4. Ohio Township Association training opportunities are available online, like almost every month, but there's more this month.
Can you mention the last one again?
The Ohio Township Association training opportunities are available online. You have to purchase them, but they have different classes. There was a West Chad meeting Thursday that I went to. Basically, everything is pretty much sound. Staffing is still an issue, like most places. They've been trying to do more I guess they used to do a lot of education in a lot of the schools in Harrison, and they can only do Crosby now because Harrison Fire Department's doing all the ones in the city, so they can't do them, which is kind of a bummer because the kids that live around in Miami Town and stuff all go to Harrison or Harrison schools. But they did come to Crosby, and they had a real good training program here for kids. A lot of safety things they go over. 5th graders is usually what they like to work with. That's a good age. I think that was pretty much it for West Jed.
Doug, on the very first one you mentioned with Great Parks.
Yeah.
I have the details on it. What kind of meeting was that?
It's a fall tour, I guess, for the whole park district.
Gotcha. Thank you.
October 18th. I think they do it every year. They might be going over some of their plans or whatever, what they're wanting to do. I think that's all I have. Dennis?
ICRC meeting is July the 27th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. over at the office, so I should be able to attend that. And in my mailbox, I had the Fernald Preserve 2022 Site Environmental Report book. Did you get one too? Okay. So I'll leave that here so people can look at it. And that is all I have.
Chuck?
I got an email from Nick Crosby. I guess he's the director of Hamilton County Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency. They got a quarterly meeting on July the 17th.
What agency is that again?
It's right here.
Yeah, we got a flyer for
Got
it.
a flyer.
July 17th. You got a copy of it.
I have one too.
I got a copy of it.
Okay.
You got another copy?
Yeah.
You can have that. So. At 4 o'clock. And then also connected to that is the Emergency Management Homeland Security Agency. They got a, I guess you call it a disaster plan, and like the public to make comment by tomorrow, which is July 11th. I got the U.S. Department of Energy update for the second quarter, April, May, and June. Also, a report we would normally get monthly from the Sheriff Department. They mentioned that they are paying more attention to Fort Scott speeding and unauthorized vehicle. I guess you know about that. So, I guess because of the problem we had brought up last meeting, so. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks. Gas Sheriff Lieutenant Stuckey.
All right, so for the month of June for Crosby Township, we had 195 calls for service. We had 4 criminal reports, 5 non-criminal reports. Our detectives were assigned 1 case, however, they did not close that case. We had 4 auto crashes, no DUI arrest, and Corporal Brian Peak gave you the traffic detail report as always. And that's all I have for the month of June. I am going to leave after this if there's anything else, any questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. Public at large, did you want to talk? Yeah, just go up there and tell us who you are. And
Hi, my name is Kate Denier. I am the new manager of the Harrison Branch Library.
Can you say that a little slower?
Sure,
and
it's Kate.
Spell that.
Yep, it's Denier, Denier.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just started a couple weeks ago as manager of the Harrison Branch Library. I know the existing manager had been there for a very, very long time. So I just wanted to come in and introduce myself. If anyone needs anything or has any questions about the library, I'm there and happy to help. I've worked for the library for almost 25 years, so I have a lot of library knowledge. So if you need something or if there's something that we can be involved in, please let me know, and I'll do whatever I can to send myself or a staff member there.
Okay.
So that's all.
I guess, did you leave a card with Brenda so that we have contact
I
information?
can, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Guess nobody else. Legal, Alan?
Yes, at the last meeting, we talked about the fact that the township was getting a tax bill that they shouldn't get.
Right.
It turned out that when we annexed property to the existing exempt property, where the maintenance building is, it turned that into non-exempt property, and we had to apply for the tax exemption, which we went ahead and did. I had Doug sign the documents.
And it turned this property that always had been township.
Into non-exempt property.
Into non-exempt property.
How about that?
Yeah.
That was the issue. That was the biggest issue because it's the bigger piece of property and it was all
Right.
getting taxed.
So instead of making that exempt, that made this exempt, or non-exempt.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's in process. But there are assessments that are part of the bill each year that apparently the township has to pay. Some things have been being paid back since they started back in 2005, according to the auditor's office. So part of that has to be paid every year, but it's a very small part of what was a much larger bill. So she said it can take a year to 18 months to get it approved. I don't know why it takes that long.
That's for the state, right?
Yeah, this has to go through the state. So in the meantime, we'll just have to wait, and I wouldn't pay any, further tax bills. Let's hope they don't send any more tax bills.
Do they know that that something's pending with it, so that we don't get?
Oh, yeah, they
start
would know
mailing
because
it?
because they're the ones that sent it up
Okay.
to the state. Yeah, so they know.
That's good.
There's a portion of it, and I forget which one it is because we only go through this like every 6 months. Where when we first called them about it, they said, well, like this piece of it, you're obviously going to have to pay. I don't think it's going to hurt much if we just hold off on paying the whole
Oh, yeah,
thing.
I'd hold off. Yeah, because it's always been it has always been used for an exempt purpose ever since it was purchased.
Because we get a stack of tax bills for every piece of like road or like the piece of property, and it's like a few bucks. So I'll just instruct Brian to pay all of them as normal except for that one.
Yeah, except for those.
And we'll pay it. I guess we'll pay it in arrears once once the problem's fixed.
Well, I don't think they shouldn't be any payment in arrears. The one.
Well, if it takes a year to 18 months to fix the issue, and in the meantime we don't pay it, I mean that
He
little
said that
small
they know
portion. That little small portion that we owe all the time.
Oh, yeah,
would
that
be,
part.
would be in arrears.
Right. No, that would continue to pay because apparently that was an ongoing assessment that the township has to pay. Like the one went back to 2005. I don't know, Chuck, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
But, and I wish I had the bill in front of me, but I didn't bring it with me. But the main tax bill, shouldn't be paid because it's exempt.
Did we buy that land right before we put the
Oh, yeah.
maintenance? I didn't know if we had owned that or not, so we did not own it.
No, we bought it from a private owner, and then we annexed it and made it all one. Or I should say we consolidated the two parcels into one. So, I think Dennis came up with a question about the fire truck.
Yeah.
That came back, and I went back and looked at the statute. This seems to apply. If you determine, if the township trustees determine that the township personal property is not needed for public use, which is not,
Right,
or is obsolete or unfit for use,
which it is.
and that the property has no value, well, you've learned that because it was out on auction, nobody even bid on it. The board may discard or salvage that property. So meaning, my interpretation, you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
Yeah. And the other question I had was is there an ongoing drone issue in the township from that one fellow who?
Have you heard anything?
No, I asked him to come here to one of the meetings, which was kind of what a trustee had thought was a good idea, and he said, I'm not interested. I'm fine. In other words, he didn't want to talk about it anymore. He was just totally washing his hands of doing anything with us.
Okay.
So I really don't know.
Flying it, right?
Excuse me?
He basically said he was going to keep flying it like he was doing. And where
Yeah,
was this
I
at
can't
again?
really say, I don't know him
Up
or
in New
where he's
Baltimore
really
area, I think.
flying it. I just know that he's going to continue doing whatever he feels is appropriate for himself.
Yeah,
So I looked up, I went and looked at what the Colerain Township had, and the only thing they could do is prohibit it from flying over their property. So, I look at my notes here because I wrote down the drones of a certain weight, which he might just have one of those little things, but after they get to a certain weight, they must register them with the FAA under the Unmanned Aircraft System Registry before they can fly. And, but when it's under a certain weight, basically, as long as you're not pestering somebody flying in their airspace over their house, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, that's just the way it is, that I could see.
See, I would guess if they flying over your land, you can call the sheriff office and they can
Stop
do
it.
something.
Yeah, if it's
I don't,
being
I
a
don't know that
nuisance
you
to
should assume that, Chuck. You don't own the air over your house.
Oh, don't you?
No.
True.
But even if they come right over your
Pay taxes on it.
house, I mean,
This is a
yeah,
this is a new
Uncharted territory.
era.
Worms.
It's a new era, and I mean, unless you're in a particular piece of property or in the proximity of something where the FAA has said that you can't do something. I mean, the township, Mr. Trends can elaborate on this probably with more authority than I can, but even comparing Crosby Township with Colerain Township is a little bit apples and oranges, because while we're both townships, they're more of like a home rule township. They function more like a city, an incorporated city, than we do.
Yeah.
We don't have the ability to do much,
Right.
except
Yeah.
for like zoning.
Yeah, actually, it was the Colerain Police Department that developed, I think I sent you the link, for registering your drone, and there were certain areas that they wouldn't allow it, like parks and things like that. But if it's not restricted airspace, and you get that from the FAA, you're basically able to, fly anywhere.
If you could control the air over your house, the residents of Delhi Township would have stopped the air traffic that goes over their houses
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Right.
well, that different. You got airplane way up and down. It could fly low, real low.
I think they would say that it's about to touch their roof.
Yeah.
I flew in over Delhi last week.
I had a question for Alan. We were talking about the township has the ability to salvage the fire engine that we have. Do we have to run that through the auction?
They already
Process.
tried
Already
to.
did.
It already went through the auction.
Oh, we went
No
through the
one
auction?
bid on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's up.
Double check.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the township trustees need to do is just pass maybe a resolution, if they're gonna dispose of it somehow. I don't even think if you need a resolution, but
vote,
if
probably.
you make a decision on what to do with it,
Right, we should all have a.
have a public motion.
Right, I agree. We'll
Yeah.
get to that soon as the fire chief gets the firehouse cleaned out and we go down the road with vacating that property.
Yeah, I got one up close up in Shannon. If they'd be interested in giving it to them as a donation.
To who?
Yeah, place up in Shannon. I got all old fire trucks.
It's
and-
called the Salty Dog. They refurbish
Oh,
old fire equipment.
well, that's not that old.
but, you know, they might take it on as a project anyhow.
They could, but there's other avenues I was looking at. So we'll get there as soon as the firehouse gets cleaned out.
I'm just saying they might be interested. I don't know. So.
Do you have anything else, Alan?
Nothing further.
K maintenance. Maintenance.
Not really. I gave you guys some sheets
Maintenance men.
on the parking lots and that. Mike and I met with the Bear Paving and that. And
So which one is the one that we're wanting to go with? Because I look at,
yeah, they had me confused.
they all look the same until you get down to the asphalt overlay. And so what heads and tails did you make out of it?
Well, the one I liked was where they did everything. Fire department, maintenance building, and here, and the walking trail.
Don't they all say that?
Yeah. What was the one?
I mean, every one of them says the same thing, and they all have different prices.
Yeah, that's what confused me.
Well, the very last page is like 34,000.
Right, except for the last page.
We'll just pick out the cheapest one.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Are they using different quality product or something?
I have no idea.
Well, there's different sales reps. There's Tom Bayer, Ken Woodruff.
Well, if you look at the first page, down underneath the asphalt overlay, they got a price of $15,900. So that would coincide with the last bid where the asphalt overlay is priced at $15,900. But why is the first part, the crack and fill and seal coat, the last page is $18,200, and it pretty much reads the same as the front page, and it's $12,300.
It must be a different amount because the square footage is different.
Well, that
If you
is
look-
true.
If you look at the square footage, it's more.
The first one approximately,
Yeah.
okay, the first one does not have the firehouse on it.
Right,
All it has is the senior center.
yes.
Okay, I see it now. So the firehouse needs to be treated too?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's never been treated.
So we can do the crack fill and seal coat without asphalt overlay for $19,000, or they can grind out some of the stuff that's in bad shape, which I know out here, some of it's
That's what we talked to.
in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
All right, starting to make sense now.
I just got the bids, that's, I didn't wanna, tonight, he brought them out to the house.
You can't get a second bid from anybody?
No,
Nobody wants to,
nobody wants to do anything,
everybody's busy.
oh, yeah.
When did he think he could get to it? Did he say that?
Talked right away,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it'd be nice to have another bid.
yeah, I know.
He also sent
So
us
are we
a,
talking 34,000?
Huh? Mike?
he sent us a map also showing us exactly what they wanted to cut out. So we can print you up the maps too if you wanted to, and so you can see exactly what they're wanting to cut.
Yeah, well, it's 9,300 square feet. Is it all right here in this parking lot?
This parking lot right here.
Yeah.
Even if you got a bid that was, and they couldn't come for 9 months, it'd be nice to
Get it done.
have a second bid. I mean, the timing that they would be able to do it is a factor in, which one you choose. I mean, even if it's a lower bid, if this one can be done now and there's 9 months, I mean, you still pick this one, but it'd be nice to be able to say you had more
I
than
know.
one bid.
Julius Howe, you tried calling him and he wouldn't give you the time of day or not?
Yeah. I can call him and find out, you know.
I would. I'd try to get a second bid. His trucks have been around. Julius Howe did the driveway going up over the hill at the bottom of my hill. They did that one just recently, and I've seen their trucks around, so I would give them a call and see if we can get a second bid. Because I know when I went for these floors in here, I got 3 different bids, and they're all different.
Yeah, I met him over at Fort Scott, Howe, and I'll have to get it to you, and I never heard another word from him.
Yeah, well, I would try him or who else. I need to write these companies down when I see them on the road.
I could probably get you someone that would do it, that would get you a bid from Cincinnati Asphalt if you want it.
Yeah, that's another company. I'd try to get another bid.
I'll get you a number for that one.
So how long this bid for? It says something about November 1st, 23.
Yeah,
Is that the date gonna be
expiration
done?
date.
Expiration date.
We got a little time. So, see if you can get something for the next meeting, which I won't be here for the next meeting, but
Okay.
you can get another bid by then, put it to the people that are here.
You got anything else?
That's all.
Is the grass still growing?
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys. Fire, Chief Davis is in here. I'll read his report real quick. So the June 2023 Chief's report, June run totals, 50 EMS details, 34 fire details, 84 total details for June. Mobilecom has removed the radios from engine 27. Talked with Mr. Miller about removing the items that didn't sell through the auction. I asked him if they would want the items since they don't sell. He's going to ask the group and get back to me. If not, I will get with Harry to see what size dumpster is needed. Stryker was out to do the yearly service on cot and load system, the Lucas device, and monitor. Rescue 28 had a fuel leak fixed, a flat tire replaced, and one of its batteries had to be replaced. Station 28 had the AC go out in June. Concord and Harness came out to find a bad motherboard and control panel. Parts were ordered and both have been replaced. And then the monthly report, mutual aid summary for fire. Coleraine, 1 received. Harrison, 13 given. Ross, 1 received. Harrison, 3 received. Whitewater, 1 given. Whitewater, 2 received. And for EMS, Harrison, 8 given. Ross Township, 3 received. Whitewater, 1 given. Whitewater, 2 received. And Harrison, 3 received. And I believe that's it. Any questions? Call Chief Davis.
The main thing with that firehouse down in New Baltimore is we've been pushing him to try to get this stuff on auction, which took a lot longer than I anticipated. And if he can get to where we can clean up down there and
Did much sell or anything sell?
there's a few things sold, but he still got it quite a bit. And I think some of the old oxygen tanks didn't move. Probably some of those are outdated because of age. And they're made out of either aluminum or steel, so that could be scrapped. And whether some of the desk and stuff down there, they got rid of some chairs, I know. And the fire engine is still ours. And if we can take and if Jim Miller can satisfy him, the P's, the auxiliary down there when we leave so that they're not disgruntled on too many things, well then that would be a positive. And that's what I was thinking, the fire engine. I know Jim told me that the motor and transmission was good. He could make a good wrecker out of it, or a rollback, take the fire chassis off of it. And if it has value to him and we can do that to appease some of what might happen to get out of that firehouse, that's the way I'm leaning anyway. We'll just have to see what they come up with. I know he was having a hard time getting his group together, like we were having a hard time getting rid of the stuff. So we'll just have to see how this all irons out. And hopefully, I was trying to have everything out of there and wrapped up by the first of this year, but it's going to be, hopefully be the first of next year we can get that rectified.
So how many's in this group that he has?
I think there's like 6 or 7 in
Local residents?
Yeah, the auxiliary, New Baltimore Fire Auxiliary. That's who has that property.
Right.
So we'll just have to see how this works out.
All right. All right, community coordinator, Brenda.
I have a few things to say. Okay, I've been working with Fire Chief Davis to offer both the staff and community the opportunity to attend 2 special classes. They'll be taught by firefighter medic Stephanie Bittner, and she'll be joined by Lieutenant Ludman and other available fire department personnel. The first class is tomorrow evening here at the community center, and it will begin at 7 p.m. The focus tomorrow night is the CPR and AED instruction. There's no cost to attend, and just and hoping to get a good crowd, I took flyers to the mini marts, at New Haven here in New Baltimore, sent flyers home with all the senior newsletters and posted on our signboard. So we're not sure how many are coming, but I would hope that we get a good crowd for them to work with. That is all good. There will be a second training session after that one. It's July 24th, and it will focus on both general first aid, and I thought it was interesting because Stephanie Bittner said to me, well, we've got some things that we'd like to share that help people to know what to do with first aid while they're waiting for the paramedics to arrive. So that's, I think, a neat, and I told her how I thought that was really neat that they had put some things together for that purpose. I wanted to let you know I have put together all the thank you letters. Finally, they are out and in the mail as of today, and I appreciate all your signatures. Got pictures for Strickers Grove Crosby Day of most of the winners. A few always get away, but I think that the donors will be delighted to see the people that won their prizes. And we had about $3,720 worth, which is just an amazing amount that our community put together for this. So I know that we are all very appreciative. Personally, I've been spending time cleaning up. I finally have the conference room looking like it should again, and it is the staging area for a lot of things I was doing the last 2 months, but that's all kind of done up. We have live music now every 3rd Wednesday. It's ongoing, newly formed band. There are musicians in the band who play with other bands, but they've come together for us to do this for free for the community, and they were really great. The first opening night, we had 60 people, a little over 60 here, not knowing exactly, how many would come or whatever with our signboards and things, but it was great. They did a good job. So they will be appearing here July the 19th at 7 p.m. Yoga classes are on Wednesdays now from 6 p.m. or at 6 p.m., 6 to 7. And we have a great local instructor from here in New Haven, Jill Sheehan, and the classes, like I said, are at the community center. The Senior Club is having their annual pitch-in luncheon for the 4th of July. Unfortunately, the 4th of July fell on their meeting date of last Tuesday, so we're gonna have our party 1 week later. But we'll have fried chicken, and they always are good cooks when they bring lots of side dishes and salads, and they're always welcoming any and all of you that would like to come and have lunch with us tomorrow at 11:30. Also, we have our monthly dinner with friends, and it's on July 20th at 5 p.m. at O'Charlie's here in Harrison. Need to tell you, it's pretty cool. The Rock and River cruise down the Ohio for August 29th is completely sold out. We packed the boat. Well, we've got a waiting list, and so I'm working now on trip number 2 for everybody that didn't make trip number 1. It's a 75-mile trip to Louisville for lunch and back to Madison, Indiana, and it's really great, a lot of fun. I guess I should hold up the red flyer. That's the flyer I was talking about. This has been everywhere around town that I could think of. So we're all good on that. We had a really good time going to Chillicothe for an overnight. I forgot to put that in that particular write-up, but we had a great lunch at the old Canal Smokehouse. If you ever get that way, up that way, it was very tasty, very good. We had a great hotel. We enjoyed that. We got rained out at intermission at Tecumseh, but they were real troopers. We had on all these ponchos all the way down. There was about 20 of them in a row, and they just stuck it out and watched the whole first half in the little drizzle rain. I have some fun pictures. I wanted to print them so you could see them, but I couldn't get it to work fast enough. But anyway, we had a good time with that. The other thing we did that was a little different and we enjoyed was going to an 1863 schoolhouse restaurant last month, and it was near Milford. But if you get a chance to go there, it was a great menu. They served it family style, and it was reasonable. And you're sitting in a real old schoolhouse, and everything's on the old chalkboards and all that. So that was good. We had a good time with that. I wanted to tell you, too, I thought about this later. Tim Rick, the company that we have our doors installed from, I've called them, I think I'm up to 5 now, about every other week and a half. We need to get scheduled, and the workers and the people are always out, and I am always talking to someone who is at the office, so to speak. So that's why it still isn't finished yet. All I can do is keep trying with that, but I have tried. I will continue that. And I had a question for Harry. I found this in some things I was going through. Did we ever hear about the Moore grant we applied for? I never heard.
I don't think so.
You never either? Okay. Usually we hear before now. So we did a grant together for the maintenance program. You were getting the crowd control barriers. That's what it was. So I'll check on that just to see. I'll let you know, because maybe something happened with the glitch, but we always typically get that. I think that's everything I have. We're good.
Okay. Harry, you and Mike, since Mike's new, want to take the cowling off of that door and see if it's something you can fix?
Yeah, take a pick at it.
I mean, if they haven't been here for a while, I'd at least take the cowling off and see what the problem is. It might be something that you can handle and take care of.
You know what I'd like to do with that is go one step first and say to the people on the phone, if you can't make it here in the next week or, whatever, we'll give some kind of time. We have some maintenance people that would like to get in there and see if they can't fix it or something. Maybe if they hear that something might be done, they'll come out, you think?
Well, you can try.
I can try.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that would be a little
They never
incentive.
contacted you back and say,
Not from that phone call, no. And I put the dates, I keep track of every
Yeah.
time I did it. Here's the dates, and that's what I said
Yeah.
over and over. Oh, no problem. We'll get, somebody in there. The very first time I called, they said their specialist with these kind of doors was working in Kenwood, and he was the only person that they thought was good that could do this job. But that was the end of May. It's the whole of June I've been calling.
yeah,
So,
well,
but I tried.
you must have been on vacation.
I'll check it out.
Likes
One
to
more
stay on the
time.
east
We'll give them one
side.
more time.
The thing is if that kind of a door is outdated, and we can't get it fixed, and you guys can't get it fixed, well, then we need to get it replaced with an updated door, because, they've been there for 30 years. And we're going to have to do something with it, so.
Right. It has to work properly for seniors to get
Right.
in and out with the different types of, motorized or mobile or whatever their situations are. And some are faster through there than others, and it can't close on them. So I'm always like watching that. But
Yeah,
I agree with you. We have to do something.
yep. All right.
All right, thanks, Brenda.
You're welcome.
Fiscal Officer Matt.
Yes. All right. First of all, we have a new revised OTARMA policy, property insurance policy. Did they get a copy of this yet?
We just got it today.
So, yeah, so we just got this, so we'll give you guys a copy that you can see or whatever. Secondly, I have a letter here. It was addressed to me, so I'll just read it into the record. This is from Autism Connections. It says, "Dear Fiscal Officer, Crosby Township, on behalf of Autism Connections, formerly known as Autism Society of Greater Cincinnati, we would like to sincerely thank you for your check donation of $100 on May 24th, 2023. No goods or services were provided in exchange for your contribution. Because of your generosity, we can continue living our mission to uplift the Southwest Ohio autism community through education, resources, connection, and lifelong support." It goes on and to say a bunch of stuff about their organization, but basically this is this was the request of our entertainment from the forget what he called himself. What was it, Brenda? What did he call himself? What, that show, the puppet show? It was the
Right.
It was, you mean his
Mr.
name himself,
Mr.
Uncle
John
John from the Uncle Al show?
oh yeah, the Uncle John guy. So this was the donation that he requested for doing the show during the downtime at Crosby Day. So I thought that was nice. Then also we got some. I don't know if you want to say anything about this, Dennis. We got some quotes from the flooring.
Yeah, I was going to cover that.
Okay, so I'll save that for Dennis's section, and then probably we also got, I mentioned at the last meeting that we had just received the state audit related to the state with employee withholdings taxes and school district taxes, that I had to look through it and everything. We did that. We also, Brian and I both, we were on the phone with the state on that. We were able to get the long multi-year issues that we've had with being able to access the Ohio Business Gateway to pay our withholdings taxes. Those issues are resolved. Once we finally got really connected with them, they were very helpful. We're now up to date, current on all of those issues. We explained to them the situation of what we've been reforming over the past 3 years, and they agreed to waive all of the penalties and fees associated with the audit. So we're all paid up. Everything is good on that. They're happy with us. I'm happy we were able to go through the process. So I think that was a really positive thing, and we'll get copies of that made and put in your mailboxes. The last thing that I have is this thing that I had put in your mailboxes shortly before the last meeting. And this is the Hamilton County resource. It was a letter dated May 4th. I got it shortly. I was able to get it to you guys shortly after the May meeting. So at the June meeting, asked you guys to look over it and see what your opinion was on it. There's a deadline where we need to respond shortly. I actually got a phone call from someone from this agency, from the Solid Waste Management District today, asking, hey, what's going on? I said, well, it just so happens we're having a meeting tonight, and that's, when the trustees are going to vote one way or the other on whether to adopt the form resolution or to, disapprove it. But they're hoping to have every municipality and township, respond by that deadline listed in the letter. The form the way I decided to do this, just because I didn't know what your comment was going to be outside of the meeting, is that the form resolution that's included, if the trustees take action and want to adopt this resolution, I would read, the language into the record of what it would say, but actually type it up and have it for you to sign after the meeting.
Okay,
Oh, we also need the minutes to sign that we approved from
For-
last meeting. Usually you pass them down.
Yeah, well, there was adjustments on them, so
Oh, okay.
I gotta make those corrections real quick. So I'm gonna need your signatures
okay.
for that after the meeting as well. So I don't know, what do you?
I mean, I
what
looked
are you guys'
over it.
thoughts on it?
Says that there was really no increases in
Now he's got.
fees.
I didn't have any
I mean,
negative
they've
thoughts
came up
about
with a
it.
plan. They're looking for ratification,
Right.
essentially.
I don't have any problem with it.
So is that something we would just vote on, or?
It's a resolution. The language, let's see.
Yeah, just read it, I guess.
The language would read like this, and actually, I'm gonna have to type up the whole thing because I think it's poorly crafted, so, it doesn't have a spot for you to sign or anything, so anyways. It says, whereas pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 3734 Ohio Revised Code, the Act, the Hamilton County Solid Waste Policy Committee, the Policy Committee, has adopted an update of the Hamilton County Solid Waste Plan, the plan update, for the Hamilton County Solid Waste Management District, the Solid Waste District. And whereas pursuant to the Act, the Board of County Commissioners and the legislative authority of each municipal corporation or township within the solid waste district must approve or disapprove the plan update by ordinance or resolution. And whereas Crosby Township has reviewed the plan update and has determined that the plan update is in the best interest of Crosby Township and Hamilton County, now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Crosby Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, Section 1, approval of the plan update. The council or board hereby approves the Hamilton County Solid Waste Plan update. Section 2, compliance with open meetings law. It is hereby certified that all formal actions of the Board of Crosby Township relating to the adoption of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of the Board of Crosby Township, and that all deliberations of the Board of Crosby Township were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 Ohio Revised Code. Section 3, emergency. This resolution is hereby declared to be an emergency necessary for the immediate preservation of the public health and welfare of Crosby Township. The reason for the emergency being the need to comply with statutory provisions and to proceed with solid waste management policies without delay in order to properly serve Crosby Township. Section 4, forwarding of resolution. The clerk is hereby directed to promptly deliver or cause to be delivered a copy of this resolution to the Hamilton County Solid Waste Management District. In the draft that I would submit, it would really begin with the actual language of someone moving to adopt the resolution.
Right.
And second it. With signature lines for all three of you. With an attest line for yours truly. So if that language is satisfactory, I'll draft it as soon as the meeting's over, have you all sign it, but I would need someone to move to adopt that resolution. The resolution number, I believe, is 122023, but I will double check that. Because we had a resolution or two that were prepared that we didn't end up doing. So I lost track of the numbers. I apologize.
Okay, I'll move that we adopt the resolution.
I guess they need at least 60% of the population to approve this, so I guess I can second it. Although we're the smallest township in Hamilton County, but I guess they need every vote they need, right?
Yeah. Roll call?
He seconded it.
Yeah, Chuck
Chuck
seconded.
did.
Lohman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heis.
Yes.
That's it for me. Unless there's any questions from the
I had a
trustees.
question. Did our insurance, like health insurance net go up a lot this year? Is that something that I,
That was,
like a 35% was some,
that
It
was,
did go up dramatically. I can't remember what exactly it went up, but it did go up. And also, what I did, instead of, I've been taking out bi-weekly, twice a month. This month in July, their third paycheck, which was done July 31st, they will not have health care taken out. And I believe we have 3 pays in December. One of the pays will not have their health care taken out. But it went from, it's over $11,000 a month now for health care for our firefighters.
is that something you can shop around on, or?
well,
Is
I
it
mean,
Elvira?
the problem is you don't have an HR department, and
Well,
typically the fire department has the fire department, because they're the only ones that are concerned with healthcare. They come to us and say, "Here's what the healthcare is going to
Right.
be."
Well,
And-
WestJet has like a guy that, he's like a broker, and he like finds rates for him and stuff.
I
mean, they
I don't
talked
think it's a
about it.
bad idea. I think it's something that you should take up with your division chief.
I mean, that'd be something you probably do the first of the year. Is that like something, it's like, it goes up the first of the year and then it stays at for the year
Yes.
base? So they change, so maybe like later this,
I don't know if it's the calendar year or a lot of
It'll be a
organizations
calendar
it's in the
year.
fall.
No,
That when you figure it out, though, you know what I mean?
thing is the chief should be able, and the thing is that the chief should be able to do for the health care, the dental, and the vision, that we pay for all of that. And if we could find a broker that would bundle all of that, we might come out ahead.
yeah, because
like-
they,
That said, that we're not experts in dealing with
right.
insurance like this.
I'll
Yeah, I could tell you we could, but I mean, as I
that
sit here,
wouldn't
I'm
be
not
us.
competent to. I don't feel competent.
Well, I mean, I'll tell
Yeah,
Chief
Doug, why
Davis,
don't you talk
I
to
will.
Chief Davis?
because he can talk to them, because they save a lot that way. This guy like goes out and shops and bundles and,
It makes sense. I mean, it would make sense that there's some mechanism out there for places like this where maybe
yeah, it's a small thing.
fire-like agencies can work together and or something like that. And maybe that's what this is.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Just an FYI, Chief's not here. We do have one firefighter off due to a injury occurred on duty.
Oh yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
Here, it happened here,
Please?
on duty here.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been managing that. This is the first workers' comp like issue we've really had since I've been here.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And the thing is, we received some information. I don't know what, and the chief got a copy of the email. I don't know what this person can do light duty since he can't use his arm, but I think they have him coming back to light duty the middle of the month, but I don't know
yeah.
what the chief can have him do. But
Okay.
Now, I just had a quick question on your fiscal report. On the cleared payments on page 6, there's like a lot of Treasurer State of Ohio's, and like one of them's almost $40,000.
So that's associated with the audit that I mentioned. So part of the problem was we didn't have the ability to pay the state employee the employee taxes the way that we needed to. I've been trying forever. The problem, because you have to pay through the Ohio Business Gateway, and I mean, I dug through all of the drawers in that office. There were multiple different passwords, usernames, and you can't just establish a new username for an organization when the organization is already
Set
in
up.
with the state. I went through the process of establishing my own username, and that was a whole big weird process.
Does that be like a new account then?
Kind of, yeah. But like for me specifically, but then I didn't. But even once I was in, I didn't have the proper authority to make the right kind of payments. You try to look, even just look for a number to get help, and it's nearly impossible. Getting a hold of someone that you can talk to, a human,
I tried
to help, is nearly impossible. We had gone through another one of these audits like this because of the fact that my predecessor wasn't making these payments properly. And when he was supposed to be training me on the job, that wasn't part of it. So we had gone through an audit, and it was one of the last things that he did while he still was employed here part-time, was making the payments to get us caught up from like 18 and 19. So I knew an audit was coming. I knew that they were going to be calling. And so essentially we took advantage of the opportunity of having this audit to get all of that settled once and for all, because then we were going to have competent people with authority to help us get to where we needed to be.
Yep.
My hope was that, there was tens of thousands of dollars of fees and penalties associated with their audit. Those were all ultimately waived once I talked to him and told them the situation. Now, the payments that are there, that's simply because of the fact that we had piled up withholdings that we needed to pay. The thing that we needed to be very concerned about is that when those were paid, that they were appropriately accounted for in
right
the
time.
accounting software. To his credit, Brian's been able to do that and navigate that. We once again went to our visiting clerk consultant through the helpline with the auditor's office for the accounting system, and got some guidance from him as well to make sure that everything was done right, to the point where we have got a full bank reconciliation for you in the report as well. So yeah, everything related to that Ohio treasurer and multiple payments there are either bulk payments for times like long past that we still had in our account, which in all fairness was making a little bit of interest while we were holding it when we shouldn't have been. And then also individual payments as well that get us current to where we needed to be. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it.
And then was there anything on that that check from last year?
No, I don't have anything on that. And this time around, that's on me. I haven't been able to get back with the branch manager. There's a new branch manager in Harrison at Fifth Third. I did meet her, ran into her, but it wasn't a time, and I didn't have the right documents to talk to her about the issue. I'm going to talk to her about it. What I have to do is I've got to find, and I probably have to go back to the sheriff's database. I wanted to have the police report, not just our police report, but the police report related to it from this other check that they had, so I can show them, hey, I mean, you did it right on this one. You didn't catch ours. I mean, this shouldn't be on us. So yeah, I gotta work on that. Anything else?
That's all I have.
I just wanted to bring up to the trustees that we totaled about $39,000 between 21 and 22 on back taxes. That is going to hit our 23 budget. So later in the year, we might be coming back for a supplemental appropriation because of the taxes,
Yeah.
just to give you a heads up.
But it's weird because you have to, it has to be part of the appropriations, but it's money that was accounted for and held in our
Right, it's
bank
there.
accounts, if that makes sense.
And like Matt said, we avoided almost $20,000 in penalties by getting it paid promptly and getting everything caught up, so.
And you had a sympathetic ear.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and they, at the state level, I mean, at the feds, they don't care. At the state level, I mean, every step, as we've been going through these financial reforms, they just want us to be, on top of things.
Sure.
And they're helpful. I mean, anytime I wish that, local government services, would have been contacted years ago, and they weren't, but they've been extremely helpful. And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Zoning, rec.
Last month we had. Last month we had 13 zoning certificates issued. There was 5 fences, 2 decks, 1 tent, 1 pool, 2 driveway extensions, 1 commercial sign, and 2 pole barns. And that's all I have. Any questions?
On the new development up there, you just had the first 3 houses go in. You haven't gotten any more permits for new houses up there yet?
Yeah, no more applications yet.
Okay.
The only one was a commercial sign. That was for the entrance sign, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Is that it for rec? Thanks. Old business. I don't think I have any. Dennis, I'm sure you do.
Old business is the floors in this building. So you all should have received 3 quotes from 3 different establishments on putting luxury vinyl plank down. I had a friend that was interior decorator. She came in and looked at the samples that we had, and she went and talked to Brenda for a while, and she came up with planking that would accentuate the room, I think, pretty good. And so then we went and got several quotes, and what we were looking at was 30 mil product that would have the longest life expectancy. They offered this product in 10 mil, 20 mil, and 30 mil. The one guy said the 30 mil product you could put down in the airport and it would hold up to that kind of traffic. So then he said, do you really want to go that route, or do you want to just do the 20 mil? So, but you look at all the chairs that get shuffled in and out, the chair volleyball, they're moving tables in and out. And to me, it would be worth going with the 30 mil product and not worrying about it until after we're all gone. So it should last 20 to 30 years. And so there's 3 different prices. Ed's is the lowest price. One thing I want to point out is that Al Smith's Decorating Center, they priced a 20 mil.
So did Al Smith did.
Yeah, Al Smith's is a 20 mil, and they were high to begin with. And so that one, I would think, is they're out of the running. The last 2 is Ed's Quality Flooring on North Bend Road and ProSource of Cincinnati. ProSource of Cincinnati was the only one that really broke down how their costs line up. And their estimated price, of course, they had sales tax, which we wouldn't pay the sales tax, so you take the sales tax off. And it would be, for the 30 mil, would be $39,263 and change. If we went with the 20 mil, it would be $36,735. On Ed's, he doesn't have it broken down, but he's got everything that he would do. And, except I don't know what the optional pattern charge is. I think that would come off. But theirs for 30 mil would be $37,372. So, and down at the bottom, if you look, the Heartland Luxury Vinyl 20 mil, that is in a different catalog, it's a cheaper product, and that's where that came up $8,000 cheaper. It's a different product. It's not the same product line as Patchcraft Timber Grove 2. It's a different brand. So I would go, my opinion would be to go with Ed's Patchcraft Timber Grove 2, 30 mil. And I asked him what the turnaround is on it. He said if it was in stock, he could be in here in a couple weeks. Just depends on whether that product is in stock or not. I asked Brenda to look over her calendar to see when the center would be least busy to do a floor change, because it would probably take 2 weeks or maybe more to get the flooring done in the kitchen, this room, the hallway, the zoning, and Brenda's office, and the storage area behind us. So, what's your guys' comments on all this? We've been talking about a floor in here for the last several years, and so I thought get this rolling. We got the money to do it, and
Is this like in the budget or for the year or not really, or?
I don't know the exact numbers on the appropriations. I mean, I don't think we made appropriations
We didn't make
based
appropriations.
on, this particular job, but I do know that, there was some number, associated with, buildings and stuff like that. Was the roof this year or was that last year?
Last year.
That was last year?
Roof last year?
Because I remember, things happen where, I know, with the roof, not knowing what the price was going to be, I put in a much bigger number than the cost ended up being. I mean, the reality is if, you've got, this would come out of general fund, the money's there. I mean, if a supplemental appropriation needs to be done, a supplemental appropriation can easily be done.
I know you said too about if with the fire department in the future, is this gonna we basically need to save up to, if we're gonna do something with.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I don't know. I'm not against it. I'm just saying.
I don't know, as I sit here, I don't know. It's hard for me to say whether, we would be able to make any particular expenditure within appropriations that we already have made.
Under other expenses, under the general fund, it would be $1,110,599,000. There's $30,000 final appropriation, and we only used a little over 5,000 of it so far.
Yeah, and any appropriation within, because of the way that we did the resolutions early in the at the planning meeting, you can really use any appropriations can be moved within any account code, that as long as it's within the general fund 1,000 prefix.
And you got another fund that is buildings, that final appropriations was 20,000. We only used 5,600, so there's two funds right there. It's got enough money to cover it.
Yeah.
One's under building and the other one's under expenses, miscellaneous. So
We have $46,700 in improvement of site. I think you might be missing a second, page 2 of 7 in that report, maybe. I think you go from 1,000 to the fire.
Which page is it?
Page 2 of 7.
Okay. Oh, improvement of sites,
Yeah.
50,000.
Well, it's 46,700 is what's available.
Well, that's what, yeah, okay. So there's 3 accounts there. We got
Yeah.
plenty of money in there.
Yeah, yeah, I tried to give
Probably
you guys,
wouldn't use.
flexibility to do,
Right.
not knowing what's gonna come up.
But it would, the planking that she picked out, it would change this hall immensely. It'd just give it a whole different feel. The only thing is Ed's, I think he would like to have some help moving some of the furniture. It doesn't say that. But when I was talking to him, especially Brenda's office, she's got so much stuff in there. We can get the Harry's and Mike's crew to come over and help move some of that stuff out so they can get that done. But I think we ought to take and get going on it and not kick the can down the road anymore. Because we've been talking about this for a couple of years, at least since I've been here.
Is there a kind of warranty on the labor and material or anything?
Yeah. There's a warranty, I think, on the Patchcraft Timber Grove too. I don't know what his warranty is.
Could that be
I
payable?
would think they would have a warranty on their
Could that be
installation.
payable at the complete?
On that floor, it's not a lock, it's a glue down. So it would, it's not a floating floor. It will be glued down to the concrete. And if we replace this, we would have to hire somebody to come in and strip it and recoat it. Well, this stuff, once they put it down, it's good. You don't have to wax, put a coating on it. So all you gotta do is keep it clean. Did you have Ed's do something in your house?
Rick's using his apartment.
I've used Ed's carpet on my apartment for 23 years.
Happy with his installation?
Get in, get out, they're not, yeah, I use them.
Okay.
And, yeah, I've used them. They were good with us. And my neighbor, who's director of maintenance, they're the only company he's kept since he's come on, that he's got rid of everybody but Ed's.
There you go.
Even a 20 mil is just, I mean, I know that's thinner. It just doesn't last as long, I guess.
Well, when he quoted the 20 mil here, it's a different product. It's not the Patchcraft Timber Grove 2 20 mil. It's a totally different line. It's a cheaper line. That's where, when he came up with $8,000 difference, and ProSource only came up with a couple $1,000 difference on the 20 mil. ProSource is using the same product, only a 20 mil. So looking at what he did is, is only about a $3,000 difference. Mm-hmm. And for $3,000, I think I would go with a better product.
Chuck, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I don't have any other questions, so.
Now then, I would move that we go with Ed's Quality Flooring to replace the floor in the kitchen, the community center room, Brenda's office, the hallways, the zoning office, and the storage facility behind our desk.
What was the total number on that? I know I have it somewhere right here, but was,
39,122.
should we say not to exceed $40,000?
Huh?
Should we say not to exceed $40,000.
Right, it's what I do. Because that optional pattern charge,
Yeah, what is
that
that?
might come off of there, but then you don't know what else he's gonna run into when he gets down onto the concrete, but he seemed pretty confident. We picked up 2 pieces over there, and he said he knew exactly how this floor was laid, so.
I've written that down, Dennis, as moving to accept Ed's quality flooring quote not to exceed $40,000 to replace floors in the community center. Is that fair enough? Is that accurate? Is that accurate to what you're moving, Dennis?
That'd be all the floors.
Should we just go with his bid, or should we do the 40?
Well, I think it's an idea not to exceed a certain amount.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's fine.
Is there going to be a second by anybody?
I second it.
Roll call.
Loman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
So I will contact them. They'll probably be sending a contract out to have signed, so Doug and Matt can handle that.
Yeah, we've got it right here, so we'll consider ourselves authorized to make the payments. Mr. Carter is gonna take over doing the minutes, and I'm gonna get a head start typing that motion.
Okay.
If it's okay with you guys.
Do you have anything else, Dennis?
No, I do not. That's it.
All right, Chuck?
Yeah. At the last meeting that we brought up about investing in the certificates, and we don't have a policy, but in the last UC Ohio Township News on page 22 and 23, they talk about investment like in certificates and Star Ohio and whatever. And this gentleman had a one-page investment policy from 2004. So investment policy, I guess, don't need to be a lot of detail because that's been almost 20 years. He has this one-page investment policy. So, and I think Star Ohio right now paying like 5.25%.
5.2.
Yeah.
And just to follow up on you, Chuck, OTA does have online training class, I think like on the 20th on investing your money or something.
I can't. I'm going to be out of town.
Well, I understand, so am I. But I'm just saying that OTA has a training class
Yeah.
on cash management.
When is that?
20th.
July the 20th. It's usually from like 10 to 11 or 10:30 to 11:30.
Yeah,
It's online.
It's weird time.
But my thought on this is
Anytime.
if you do certificate,
Should show 'em that you could.
probably gonna get around 5% right now for
No.
a
Certificates.
year and a half. Whereas you keep the money at Star Ohio, you can put the money in and you can get the money out within a couple of days.
Right.
So
That's a CD or?
No.
now Star Ohio is like
Oh, this is through the, yeah, I understand now.
okay.
I was
We
thinking
got
Star
the
Bank.
report in there, that monthly report.
Mhm.
Not been in that account for a long time because I put it in when I was a fiscal officer.
Right.
And I think it was at that bank over in Miami Town. And we were,
Yeah, it was at US Bank.
Yeah.
We switched it all over.
yeah. And the account was there so long they couldn't even find the security costs. It took me a while to get all that money out of there. So and we've been, Star Ohio has been real good. And I think, personally, I don't think we need to go on a certificate. Only because if you put in a certificate, you could get a penalty if you needed money.
If you needed it and it pulled
Yeah,
out.
So
Where Star Ohio, you can put it in, you're getting the interest, and you can pull it out
within a couple
anytime,
of
but it
days.
might take you a day or two
Right.
for the
Basically like a money
transaction.
market account.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And So,
And that interest rate fluctuates,
Right.
so it's 5 over 5 now, but it can go anywhere
yeah,
as the market
Yeah,
dictates.
it's like the CD rates have
Right.
changed in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
so, and so the other thing, I guess, on our checking account, our balancing is, what was that, $3 million or whatever. So we probably could figure out how much we could take out and put it in Star Ohio if we wanted to. But you have to be careful because the Fifth Third is like every bank. They require you to keep a minimum balance to cover all the deposit, all the withdrawals. So if you go below that balance, you end up getting a monthly fees
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
So, but that's something we could look at and see. Maybe there's $1 million or whatever there that we could transfer to Star Ohio.
Yeah, maybe Matt and Dennis can get together and before the next meeting or two and see like an amount that we could maybe.
Yeah.
That would be a good amount to, and then you could just recommend it to us or something.
Yeah, I don't
Safe
know.
amount.
I can't, that statement, I can't tell you the amount you need to keep there from getting fees. If it's not on there, you could probably go to Fifth Third and they could tell you, you know, exactly what amount you need to keep there.
Right.
So, and then you could transfer that.
But we probably ought to have a policy, because we don't have a investment policy as a guiding arm, so
So,
you want to write, since you're well-versed in money
yeah, I can
matters,
see I can
would
come
that
up
be
with.
down your pike to come up with a policy that we could look at maybe and adopt?
Yeah.
Chuck, didn't we talk about this a long time ago? An investment policy? Somewhere I'm remembering when you were fiscal officer, we did something like that.
Yeah, but I couldn't find one.
I might, if
thought-
I might have something. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I thought we had one too, but who couldn't find it? So, I thought it should have been in that book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you can look and let us know, but.
I'll take a look.
So I'll wait for you to email me. So, okay. I have. Let's get some thought on that, and the good article on the Ohio Township News, and it like on one of the pages policy. So it need to be in a lot of detail. It could be a general policy. So I have.
All right, thanks.
Are we getting any interest on a checking account in Fifth Third?
Yes.
Minimal?
I don't have the fiscal
Yeah.
officer's report.
Yeah, we're getting some, and what it is let's say the balance is $4 million, and they require you to keep, say, $2 million, get off my head. You would only earn interest on that last $2 million. So, and the rate, I think, is like less than 0.5%.
Yeah, they're usually really low on checking accounts.
Yeah, it's less than 0.5%. It's like 0.4, if I remember right, but
Does it even tell you the percent in here?
it's,
I think we had like $1,300 last month on almost $4 million.
yeah,
So it's not much.
Not much.
no, so.
Okay.
All right. New business? I don't have any. Dennis?
None.
Chuck?
None.
Now we're moving. Other concerns?
I will not be here for the August meeting. I'll be out of town. So, as long as you
We'll
guys,
having a big party that month.
well, I guess I'll miss the hot dog fry.
Montgomery and ribs. There's an appropriation for that. All right. Anything else?
We get the blacktop business, get at least another bid on that. And then if we can, if you guys want to go ahead and move on it while I'm gone, I don't care. Because then they can book it for September, October, and get it done before it turns cold. Fort Scott is supposed to be paid towards the end of August. It wasn't in the minutes. It said that Barrett had it, the paving contract, but it's supposed to be done the last part of August. So you can look forward to something happening on that. And
Anything on the shelter? You heard anything on the shelter?
Bob May emailed me today. He was emailing them down there to see if they got their building permit. So that's the only stuff I've received from Bob, is seeing if they're getting all their legal stuff in order so that when it comes, they can put it up.
That's through the county?
Yeah, they got to go and get building permits and stuff from the county. So, and that's all I know on that. And that should be happening in September, October, the way I understand it.
Sneaking up.
Yeah. And that's,
All right.
that's.
Can I throw out just a quick date thing?
Sure.
I did look at things, Dennis, and I was going to say about the floor. I don't know if it's possible, but if they would happen to have the materials, our biggest event of people right now is that live music, and it's the 19th of July. And if it's possible to take from that date forward all the way to September, that'd be a good time.
We have the election here August.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
Darn
have to
it.
make sure that's,
So it's going to
Okay.
have
and then
to,
November's would be the
another
next.
election.
Yeah, so you got to get in between elections.
I see. Okay. Well, I was thinking of that because all of our regular meeting things start in September, you know, back when school's going, and then the different
Yeah.
committees or, you know, whatever. So we're kind of in this lull period from now till end of August, except for that one thing. So
If they could do it right after the election.
please.
They could do it right after the
Oh,
the
that's
August
true.
election.
If it was all ready to go, the 8th was the election day, was August 8th,
Yeah.
I think.
I'll contact him
Okay.
and have him see if the product is available, and then I'll tell him your time frame.
That was our best. Now, we can work with anything, of
Right,
course, but that.
but it would be nice.
Right. And you know what's really going to be good about this, Dennis, is that I was thinking about what to do with everybody to keep, because the seniors are really rolling and we're doing stuff. We're going to take in all local things while the center is closed. We'll go to the park. We'll have bingo
Right.
over on the harbor. We'll go to Fernald. We'll take a tour of the museum. We'll have lunches. You know, I'll work it all around the neighborhood
Uh-huh.
so they keep rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, August 8th is about a month away, so.
I know Matt had mentioned that August 8th probably won't be very chaotic, but besides elections, do the workers, the election workers, do they park over at the maintenance building?
They can.
They
They'll do
should
whatever we
probably.
ask them to do, yeah.
I don't think August will be an issue, but November probably would be. They should. I mean, that would free up quite a few
That's a
parking
good point.
spaces.
And we can they often, you know, bring in their, whatever they've got, personal items and that, and then just have them move after that if they have things that they want to carry.
Yeah.
But yes, I could take care of that.
Thanks.
Sure.
Anything else? So our next regular business meeting will be August 14th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Do you need
Oh.
have Matt to finish the resolution before you adjourn or not?
Yeah, we would.
No, we have approved it.
Okay.
It's been approved,
So all we got to do is sign it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
All we
fine.
got to do is stick around.
Okay, that's
sign
fine.
it.
I just want to double
So,
check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the,
I did.
Dennis. Chucky second.
yeah, I said,
You were thinking about it.
I thought you might.
Roll call.
Mr. Glowman?
Yes.
Mr. Hyab?
Yes.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
8:29 p.m.
I thought maybe you want to do it, huh?
I'll keep